Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Barke Faraj Kamus. I am an author, a speaker, and a life coach. Today, I would love to talk to you about long term marriages. We have a problem in a way that I feel for these people. I feel for the women, I feel for the men who come to me and ask me for advice or come to me and they want to be coached because they're either stuck, they're feeling low and they're feeling that what can I do now? And for me, I'm coming here today to let open this kind of worms, this thing that is happening and is still going on and is still going to happen because we're all, we all, we want to be happy. But the thing is, we need to ask ourselves what type of happiness we want from ourselves, because you can be happy, but then are you creating problem with that happiness? That's my question. So okay, there's two scenario. Now, I've had one client come to me, say to me, Barke, I have a problem because I'm living in UK. I was ready. I went back home. I got married. And when I got married, I wanted to bring my wife here. We had children, and my wife at the time said no, she didn't want to come. Now, I created the life that I know is gonna benefit her by making sure she doesn't go hungry, making sure she's been looked after, making sure everything is done for her. So he stays in UK, she stays in Africa, and they had children. So he will go and stay like 2 months in a year, and then he comes back. So 10 months in UK, 2 months in Africa. I asked him, from the beginning, what was the reason for you to get married? And he was like, I want to be happy, I want to have a family. And I said, I understand you want to have a family, but end of the day, you're a Muslim, okay? And in Islam, is it this what is written down? Is this allowed? And he's like, no, it's not allowed. I know that is not allowed. And I said, so why are you hurting yourself? And so he's like, because that's the only way I can give her financially freedom, but for ourselves to create this financially freedom, because in a way that I don't have to think about money, because I'm having and building all these businesses and creating the lifestyle that I want for my family. And I said, that's great. That's amazing. So how is it? Because you're doing and you've done it, isn't it? Yes. So what is the plan now? And he's like, oh, because her family now, they're pushing me and they're saying to me, why didn't I take my wife here, or to bring my wife here? And they said, did you explain why you didn't bring her all this time? And I said, yes, I did explain, but nobody's listening to me. And they're seeing me as the bad guy. So I asked him, did you talk to your wife? Does she wants to come now? And said, yes, she wants to come now. And I said, and it's been years all this has happened. So now he's having doubt to think, oh, maybe she's having another man, or maybe she's having this. And I said, okay, can you really ask yourself or put yourself in her shoes? Okay, a man who's not there, who looks after you, make sure the bills are paid, make sure that you don't go hungry, make sure the fridge is full, make sure you go to business to go to, make sure everything is done for you. And you're just sitting around waiting for your husband to come in 2 months in a whole year. We have around us shaitan, iblis. We have these things that is happening. We have temptations. Come on, you are not there. What do you think is going to happen? Let's say, okay, this person is not doing it, but in a reality. So I asked him, have you been faithful? And he said, yes, I've been faithful and I'm really love and want my family. And I said, I understand. But the thing is, if you're going to get married, you get married because you want to be with your partner, with your wife. And that means you have to be together. But if you separate, that means you're putting what? You're leaving things that are unsaid, or things that are not being done in a right way. So I asked him, is this in our deen? No, it's not. It's not allowed. I understand. It's written down in the Quran. Okay, you cannot leave your wife for more than 3 months. It is not good for you, for any of us human being. Every person has needs, and every person, okay, this is the thing about this world, the temptation, the truth about what is actually happening. So anyway, we talked about this, but still the session's still ongoing, and he feels very low because he's like, I've got all these questions going that I've got doubts that's happening, and I'm like, what is the reason actually is stopping you from you going back to your wife? Because if you, either two things, bring her here or you go over there. Simple as that. And he was like, no, it's not simple as that, because I tried to bring her here, but I can't because of the law has changed. And I said, okay, the law has changed. Now, what other things can you do for yourself? What can you make or create that life that is going to bring balance to all of this? I left that to him. Now, another scenario. I've got this woman comes to me and she says to me, Barke, my husband has 2 wives. I'm the first one and there's another wife. But the thing is, okay, the husband is, when he goes in the trips, I don't know what he's doing, but he doesn't want to take me. He doesn't want to take the other wife. He just wants time for himself with his friends. But end of the day, there's no way of getting in touch with him when he's away. There's no way of him or herself knowing what is happening to her husband or what is going on. Now, for me, I say to her, listen, in our deen, okay, even Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he was going away, he will take one of his wife. This is in the Quran, it's in the Hadith, it's written down, and we know this. If we follow the story of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Sunnah, okay, the way he lived, and we have to live by his example. Now he knows, okay, this is the thing about any human being. Now, for me, the only thing for me, I gave her the advice because she only asked for advice, is that you need to talk to your husband. You need to have a communications, okay? He has 2 wives. Yeah, both of them have family. And he favors and he disfavors sometimes. That's his business. But end of the day, you have to talk and you have to communicate. What exactly do you want from him? What exactly he's doing for his family? But my thing is that before you get married, let's be honest here. This is my opinion. You can take it or leave it, and that's okay. But end of the day, we need to ask ourselves from the beginning. We need to be honest with the people that we want to have a life with. If you're living in a different country and you are going back to your country to get married, you need to ask that person, are you willing or do you want to come to live with me? They say no. How can you get married to that person? Because that is trouble in itself. Now you leave her there, you pay for everything, and then, a few months later, the wife is not your wife anymore because he's sleeping around with someone else. Or you, on the other country, you are having another family or even another woman. What is the point in that? People who just goes and get married and then they leave the family, they go to another country for work or whatever the reason it is. But end of the day, you need to ask yourself, what am I leaving behind? What exactly is it benefiting anyone? What am I doing to myself or to my family? There are people who grow but they're not together. They're married, and he will come Just make her pregnant, go, okay? The parents or the mother or whatever, the family member with that woman will look after the children. And the child, the father comes along and look at this man. That's your father, okay? But there was nothing connecting the child with their father. There's nothing connecting even the wife and the husband, because they have to rebuild whatever it was left at that time to where it is now. Things change, life change. And then you're expecting to just pick up where you left off and everything is cool. Life is not like that. I understand we have to make money. I understand we have to live our lives in a way that to make it easy. But end of the day, we need to think of our consequences. Every action has a consequence. Everything you do, you need to think of why you're doing it. What exactly are you expecting back from this action? What exactly are you expecting from what you are giving or what you are creating? Sometimes we forget how important it is for us to really step back. And for the people who are in this marriage, okay, and they are living apart, but they're saying they're married. I feel so sorry for women coming to me, Bariki, I've got needs. And what can I do? And I'm like, this is sad. Because in their own country, they left the country. One is in this country, the other one is in the other country. They meet once in 3 months if they're lucky, sometimes once in a year. What a life. Please, let's think about human connection. Okay? It's not just about phoning. It's not just about, making sure there's the money or it's just temporary, guys. What about the connection of one person with the other? What about the connection between a child and a parent? It has to have 2 parents, not just one. And that is you yourselves, you create this. So let's think about, what are we doing for our children? What are we doing for ourselves? What do we want from ourselves? Because this is not the life. This is not the way it's supposed to be. And I feel so sorry for people like that, because until they do something about it, I cannot do anything about that. It's up to that person or up to those 2 people. Because end of the day, most of the time, it can either become stronger or it can fall apart. But it's up to you. So I hope you understand and you got value for what I've said today, because end of the day, I'm just being real, and I'm saying things that are affecting other people out there, because no one else is going to voice it. Now here I am, I'm voicing these things because they are important. Now, if you love what I'm saying, you can subscribe to my channel, or you can send a message, or you can share this video to the right people who really needs to hear this. My brothers and sisters, I wish you all the best, and it's your life, not mine, but it's up to you how you live your life. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.